and welcome to the writings class because this is going to be so about writing and publishing and books and stuff. Yeah, I should really call that the podcast, writings and publishing and books and stuff. It's better than the writing class for sure. It's like that's so unoriginal. Oh well, it's too
the
late
and
now.
stuff is the fun part, right?
Because I'll just be talking to people about like, hey, tea. Let's talk about tea. So that's the and stuff. Anyway, I'm Winona. I'm one of the And I Thought ladies, and we wrote books. Go figure. When I say we, there's normally a J to the what is that? I think this is the right side of me. Yeah, it's the right. There's normally a J to the right of me, but she's not here because, well, we're actually at a funeral. I feel a little disrespectful saying that. Like, I'm at a funeral working.
It's the sign of an entrepreneur that never stops. I'm so very sorry for your loss. I know that's tough.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so it's really hard to bounce back from I'm at a funeral and make this fun and light, but I'm going to try to do it like with grace and everything.
Well, you're talking to the right person because I have some experience in this field. So, oh my goodness, we'll make this as fun as possible under the circumstances.
Yep. All right. So, the books are And I Thought Divorce Was Bad, And I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy, If Only I Were Me, A Memoir in Verse, Widow's Web, Widow's Debt, and Foreign Coffee. You can get those books wherever audiobooks are being sold. And just in case you thought, oh, look at that, they're cute little writers. They did like 6 books. No, we did 17. So we're like adolescent style writers, right? Because like real writers have done like 30 something. And we're like, we stopped at 17. You can see the rest of those 17 books on www.andithoughladies.com. I really don't think I have the energy to pull it off like a car salesman today. But I'm going to do it.
You're doing great. You are doing great.
It's going to be, you can find the rest of those books at www.andithoughladies.com. Yeah, I pulled it off. Not as enthusiastic of as, someone being like, go! But I did all right. But you're not here to hear about me. You're here to hear about our wonderful guest. Wonderful guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. And I appreciate your enthusiasm so much. My name is Alexa Bigwarfe, and I serve a couple of different purposes in this world right now. But the biggest one career-wise is I run a company called Write, Publish, Sell. And our job is basically to help authors along their route to writing, publishing, and selling their books, making sure that they have access to resources and tools to help them not make some of the mistakes that I and my team and other authors that we have worked with made along the way, so that we can save time and money and not want to pull our hair out. I also host the Women in Publishing Summit, which is an annual conference designed to help women in the publishing industry, publishers, authors, editors, book cover designers, everybody, book marketers, everybody in there, to really create a fun community where we can come together and not only learn about what's happening in the industry and the things that we can do to help ourselves become better authors and better publishers and all of that, but also to build community so that we can support each other, because we know this is a tough journey. And I don't know how much you want me to go into my background here or what we've been doing, but basically I consider myself largely to be an advocate really for authors, so that because I've made so many mistakes. Oh goodness, have I made incredible mistakes along the way. And I want to make sure that other people can save themselves from what's happening in that journey. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what are the 3 most common mistakes that you hear all the time? Like an author has gone through the ringer, and they come back and they're like, oh, I wish I had known these.
Yeah, well, I would say that probably the 3 biggest mistakes are not taking enough time to make sure that the book is really ready to go and that it looks professional when it gets out there. So we see people not having a cover that's great, or not having done editing, which is a huge mistake, or not having the book formatted properly. Those are 3 big things that come in with basically rushing to launch. And along with that is not having done the legwork that they need to do with marketing. So that's probably the second one, is really not not taking the time to build your audience, to make sure that you have things in place to market your book really well. Because when you do spend all this time and energy and you get it out into the world, you want to make sure that there's people there to buy it, that that you are, have all the stuff in place so that you can sell that book and continue to sell the book. And I'd say probably the third mistake is not doing the research on companies and publishers that they decide to work with, and then getting really, really hosed over by somebody who, if they'd done a little bit more research or really looked into what that service provider or publisher was providing them, they could have saved themselves a lot of misery and money by choosing to work with someone else. Those are the three biggest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. The editing and the rushing, I always hear that. And here, I'm a testament to the fact that we always rush.
And sometimes rushing is the right thing to do. We work with authors across a big variety of genres and things, goals that they're trying to achieve. And, if you have a business and you've got an audience already, that process can move so much faster because you already have the legwork of building an audience and having people there to buy your book. But if you're a first-time fiction writer and you are trying to really have an audience of people to talk about your book and to buy your book and all of those things, you really need to put your foot on the brake and slow down. And if you're an nonfiction or business owner and you don't already have that audience built, you don't already have anyone out there, you have two ways to look at it. You can do it faster so that you have something to give to people as they're coming into your audience, or you can say, I'm going to slow down just a little bit and make sure that I have the things in place that I need to really make this a good launch that's going to do something for me and for growing my business. So, yeah.
Oh no. So when you're at a funeral and people know you, they stop by and be like, "Are you okay? You're sitting in the car." It's like, yeah, I'm working.
Going anywhere. Yes. Oh my goodness. I understand.
So quick question, because I do have to make this quick, apparently, because people want to see me at this funeral. Go figure. So you said something about marketing. How much legwork, how many months do you think ahead of time should you be thinking about legwork?
That is a great question. So really what I tell people is to think about what they're trying to achieve with their book launch. If you want to see lots and lots and lots of sales, you need to give yourself a lot of time for marketing. In the traditional book world, it's as long as a year or more of marketing that book before it actually hits the publish date. For indie authors, I suggest a minimum of 3 months to give yourself enough time to start building some advanced readers, to build up some hype, to really have other people in your community that can start talking about your book and doing things. But really, I think the sweet spot is 6 to 9 months if you can allow yourself that much time, so that you can really get stuff going on social media, so that you can get advanced readers, so that you can get reviews out there on Goodreads and other platforms, so that you can build partnerships with people to have them help you promote your book, so that you can do all of those things that are really time consuming. And also building the audience in general, building your social media or building your email list for that launch can be quite time consuming. And we always think we have so much time to do these things, or I can do it after I finish the editing, or I can do it after the book is ready, or I can do it after the book is launched. And really, we find out that 1, the time goes by so fast. And 2, if we wait until right before the launch or even after the book is launched, we miss a critical opportunity to have a much bigger launch that will help you have a bigger impact long term if you don't have people already in place who are just ready and excited to buy your book, to promote your book, to talk about your book, to review your book, all of those things that make a big difference in the long run.
Exactly. And reviews are currency when it comes to book. And those are some of the hardest things to pull together.
Absolutely. And even if you have people who say they're going to review, sometimes it's like pulling teeth to actually get them to go over to someplace and review them. It can be months before anyone takes any action, which is frustrating.
No. We had to go to people's jobs when they got off. We were like, hello, you said a review. I'm standing here. I have the review link up. Feel free to type.
Well, that's one very aggressive and effective way to make sure people do it. Like, show up with the white van and be like, if you don't submit this review, you're going in this van and I'm not telling you where I'm taking you.
They were our friends though. We didn't do it to random folks. They were our good friends. We were like, you said review.
You promised. Now deliver. I totally get it.
I do not suggest you do that to anyone else. You got to know them well.
You may get arrested for randomly showing up at people's workplaces.
Exactly.
I think that's called stalking, but with your friends and family, you're okay.
Exactly. They have to be really good friends and or family to do that.
That's so right.
But yeah, reviews are currency, and it takes a lot of time to get people interested in the book and passionate enough to actually leave a review. So that legwork is so very important. And my last question is about your summit. Why did you come up with the idea, and how can people find out about it and buy tickets? That's what the last part was.
Well, I love this question because basically I started my business back in about 2012, 2013. And around that time frame, virtual summits were just starting to happen. People were starting to do them. They were starting to grow. And I was like, this feels like a really good idea. So I started one in 2015. It was very broad. And it was basically for anyone who's ever thought about writing anything, anything, a blog post, a book, or whatever. And I realized that it was really hard to talk to the community that I wanted to talk to when we made it so broad like that. So over the next couple years, I was watching other summits and I noticed that there was a very huge lack of representation in a lot of these online summits from women, first and foremost, and then from anybody diverse in any way, shape, or form. So in our third year of running a summit, we decided to focus on women, but also focus on marginalized voices within that community, and made a really big effort to bring in other people who are doing amazing things and shaking things up in the publishing industry, so that again, we could have a place where we can support each other, where we can share resources that are out there so that we can make connections. And I have made so many great connections from participants of our conference, from the speakers, from the sponsors, who are really wonderful people and just weren't getting the platform that they needed to talk about it. And it helps us build those relationships so that we can say, hey, I know this person, I've worked with them, I've used their company, or look how great they're doing. And you may never have heard of this person, but they're incredible. Consider them before you consider some of these other services and all of that. So that's how it was born. And this is going to be, we run it the first week of March every year live, but we do free webinars every single month. So you can go over to womenandpublishingsummit.com. Very easy, just head over there, and the main page, if you're there before we close ticket sales on March 1st, will be for the conference. You can also always join up for any of our free webinars and that we do every single month, so that you can get information. And if you're not able to purchase a ticket or attend in that March 1 through 4th window, you can still come to our monthly webinars and gain a lot of valuable insights. So.
Can you tell us quickly, where can we find out more information about you? Because I've got to go.
Yes. Okay. So basically, if you look up Alexa Bigwarfe anywhere, or look up Write, Publish, Sell, or look up Women in Publishing Summit, you will find me. So I'm on social media. I have a website. I have all that stuff, but head over to womenandpublishingsummit.com. That's probably your best place. And I can connect with you over there or on Instagram.
Thank you so much. You can find out everything that your ladies are up to at www.and-I-thought-ladies.com. Go down to the middle of the page and see the charities that we proudly support. We hope that you can support them too. We thank you in advance for that. Remember that wisdom is all around you if you're open to finding and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Winona and the Missing Jade. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.